Oh my god. So yeah, CD Projekt RED has gone absolutely crazy with getting the word out about Cyberpunk 2077. It seems like a lot of you are getting kind of excited about the December 10th release date. I'm going to go over some brand new information about that here in this video. But this video is going to be a little bit special because we're going to be talking about the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X. Because guess what? Reviews are in. The press has been playing the game. I mean, the consoles and the games on these consoles, of course. And they've offered their final impressions and reviews about the Xbox Series X and, of course, the PlayStation 5. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And you better believe it, your top comments. So remember, leave a comment down below. Let me know, are you going for the PS5 or Xbox Series X or PC? Sound off. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here, and let's dive in. Let's do this. So check this out right here. This says Cyberpunk ad in Times Square. It costs $2.5 million to project an ad there for 4 weeks. Look at that. Cyberpunk 2077 front and center there pretty much in Times Square with the release date of December 10th. That is huge news to see and very impressive. It just shows once again how CD Projekt RED is going all in with this December 10th release date. But that's on a whole other level for sure. Then we got some initial comments here from Internal Assumption 1 who says, perhaps a good sign for the December 10th release date? And we got a reply saying, sort of my feeling on it as well. Furthermore, we have more replies from the Charm City's King who says, seeing more and more of these ads and promos are giving me more and more confidence in this December 10th date. I mean, if they delay it again, it's over. And yeah, that's my assumption here as well. Then we have this one. This is an interesting one from Osama Bin Laden who says, looks like they are a lot more serious with the marketing. Honestly, I think they won't delay the game again considering how many people they've already let down, and plus they already felt like the game wasn't ready. They would have delayed it way more than just the 21 days. And I mean, they already said it's ready for PC, PS5 for the new Xbox, so it looks like we are maybe in the clear this time. Let's hope. Let me know if you guys are hopeful or really guarded about this, December 10th date. And then Keychain Soda says, I'm convinced and super excited that this game is coming out December 10th. The hype train hasn't stopped yet. All right, so yeah, a lot of people are excited about it. So crossing our fingers, they nail this December 10th release date. And why only 21 days? That's also my question. If there were serious issues, they would have delayed it even further, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X. Let's dive into some of the opinions about the console, starting with IGN here. They say PS5 versus Xbox Series X, which does what best? Two great consoles, both two with different strengths. All right, and then they say this, both the PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles are great. In fact, we gave each of them an 8 out of 10 in their respective reviews. But that doesn't mean they're identical. They both arrive at similar goals through different means, from form factor to storage to controllers and more. Now, IGN editors Jonathan Dornbush and Ryan McCaffrey took a look at 6 major categories to see which consoles does what best. And this is definitely really interesting. Let's dive in. So first of all, it says the Xbox Series X is very adaptable in your home setup. And they are basically saying here, take a look at this right here. It's the size of the PS5 that's the problem, because you can fit your Xbox Series X into existing home entertainment centers, but the PS5, good luck. Even if you're lying it down horizontally, apparently it doesn't fit into many home centers or home entertainment centers, and that's a problem. I'm not too sure why Sony wouldn't design the console with that in mind, but apparently it's a problem, and it's definitely something that they mentioned there for sure. Now they go on to also say this, the PS5 prioritizes getting you into the game. The PS5's custom SSD is the real deal. As Luke Riley mentions in his PS5 console review, it takes under a minute to get from the console completely off to being perched atop a building in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. That speed is startling to experience as someone who has been grappling with the PS4's UI and slower load times, and is an absolute game changer in breaking down the time it takes to get to what these consoles are meant to do, play games. Aside from mercilessly limiting my time on Twitter, it's a speed that that's present throughout the experience. Switching from Miles to, say, Astro's Playroom is even quicker, letting me jump between them in seconds without ever leaving a game, thanks to the new control center. So that's really an impressive part of the PS5 for sure. It's just the load times. I've heard that many of these games are going to have practically zero loading times. Especially the single player games, you're going to still have to deal with servers and stuff like that when it comes to online play, which is still going to suck. But when it comes to these single player games, load times are going to be pretty much instantaneously, which I cannot wait for, especially in terms of the PlayStation 5. Now, they say this more than that, the PS5 UI prioritizes ease of getting you into your game. There are no extraneous menus, and pulling up overlays and other features like the create button is nearly instantaneous. The Xbox may have the very cool quick resume feature, but the speed in which jumping into a game after turning on your PS5 hasn't made me think twice about the lack of that ability. And that custom SSD on PS5 means something like Marvel's Spider-Man erases load times, fast travel is nearly instantaneous, and Miles enters and exits indoor locations without a hitch. After playing on PS5 for even just a few days, I can't imagine going back. Man, the hype is real. I'm telling you what. Again, you guys got to sound off. I got to know. Xbox Series X or PS5, or are you just going to play on PC? All right, let's keep going. It says this. There's more storage on the Xbox Series X. It says, while neither $500 console comes away smelling particularly good on this one, the Xbox Series X and its 802 gigabytes of usable storage space is significantly more than the PS5 667 gigabytes. That means the PS5 has 17% less storage capacity than the Xbox, and more practically, it means you can fit approximately 2 fewer big games on your drive. Worse, while the Xbox has an expensive 221 terabyte expansion card option, the PS5 has zero storage upgrade option at launch. They will come, but we don't know when nor do we know how much they'll cost. So my take on this one is both consoles have failed in this regard. I was expecting way more hard drive space than this, 2 terabytes at the least, because of the size of the games. However, all right, I'll back that up a little bit, because the way you will be installing games going forward in next gen will be different. So if you take a game like Call of Duty, for instance, and you finish up the single player campaign, apparently you're going to be given the option to uninstall portions of your game. So hey, I'm done with the single player, uninstall it, frees up a ton of space. Seems like a lot of games are going to be going with this path in the future, so it might be a little bit of an illusion that these hard drives are small, but in the case of single player games, I don't imagine you would be uninstalling anything like in the case of, Cyberpunk or big open world games. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these hard drives. Honestly, I was hoping for bigger hard drives. Alright, this is an interesting take from Andrew Raniere of Game Informer. It says PlayStation 5's DualSense controller is a game changer and screams of something new for next-gen gaming. Xbox had the best controller for a long time and still great, but the DualSense adds new dimensions to gaming experience, and it's now the controller to beat. Interestingly, IGN absolutely agreed with this one, and I'm going to paraphrase here, that basically also went on to say that the Xbox controller is still stellar, but they haven't changed it at all pretty much. They haven't really upgraded it too much in that regard. Honestly, the Xbox controller is great, but I cannot wait to experience this PS5 DualSense controller, because I guess it is on an entirely different level for sure. Now, it says this PS5 has a strong next-gen lineup. Remember, we're going to be getting Demon's Souls, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, The Pathless, and so on and so forth for the PlayStation launch titles for the PlayStation 5, which I'm super hyped for. Xbox Series X, it was supposed to get Halo Infinite, but it did not. However, I'm still hyped for the future of Xbox Series X. Besides, Microsoft did buy a little company called Bethesda. So yeah, their future looks pretty bright in that regard. Plus, I am so freaking hyped. You have no idea about Fable. The next Fable, in my opinion, is going to be the game because it's by Playground Studios. That studio, holy crap, they make amazing games. And I feel like it's going to be almost like a guarantee that this Fable game is going to be absolutely amazing. So, I cannot wait to see what Xbox eventually does. But right now, as it stands, Sony has the stronger launch lineup for sure. Let me know if that matters to you all. Are you willing to wait You know, I'm curious. All right, next up it says Xbox Series X is more backwards compatible. So yeah, they go on to say Xbox has been doing the work here, and it shows every Xbox One game, save for Kinect titles, works just fine on the Series X, and many of them run at higher resolution or frame rates on the new console. This also applies to the large catalog of backwards compatible Xbox 360 games that seamlessly work on the Series X. Heck, even a sampling of the original Xbox games has been brought forward from Microsoft's first generation machine to its fourth, including classics like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which by the way runs at 1080p compared to its original 480p. Sony has done a good job of playing catch up with a lot of PS4 games now compatible with PS5, but you won't be digging any further back into PlayStation's past than that. And while the PlayStation Plus catalog of PS4 titles is awesome, it still can't hold a candle to the Xbox Game Pass. And then they go on to say, we hope what we highlight here helps you if you're interested in if you're still sitting on the fence. But there's so much to enjoy no matter what console you go with. And I agree with that one, that these consoles are going to offer some really cool stuff, especially with the first party games. Now, for me, with backwards compatible video games, I'm still just going to have, my old consoles plugged in. So I'm not really I'm looking for the new experiences, honestly, with these consoles, especially in terms of first party. That's one of the reasons why I jump onto my PlayStation 4 is to play games like The Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, and then I jump over to the Xbox console to play Halo, Gears of War, and of course, yes, it's going to be all about Fable for me. And then it looks like the future for Xbox again is going to be a lot of Bethesda titles. So that's absolutely massive for Microsoft. But let me know your take on what console or platform you will be playing on. The majority of my third-party gaming experience will still be on PC. That's what I'm going to say right there. It's just I feel like PC is so good. I downloaded Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it is absolutely incredible on PC. Of course, I do have a beefy PC, which I purchased and I want it to last for a long time, and it has. It's lasted a very long time. It's been able to compete with these consoles for years. All right, let's go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below.
You never know. It could end up right here in a video.
All right, let's do this. So, Comic Slurver says this. I'm going to call it right here. All the cats in the game are genetically altered and chipped to spy on their owners. What better way to spy on someone than to wire their pet for audio and video? You have me extremely curious now if there's going to be a mission around this or something. Because it's interesting what they're doing with the animal life in this game for sure. To think that it's a luxury, an absolute luxury to own any type of pet in Night City. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's also going to be some sort of rescue missions or something. All right, Corky Purple says, I love taking screenshots in Night City. I'll be going around taking photos like a Japanese tourist, on steroids. Yeah, photo mode is going to be pretty badass in this game. Satchel Bed says, I'm playing on 1S and my son will be playing on Series X, his Christmas gift. Awesome, man. That is so freaking cool that you're giving your son the next-gen console. Buzzkiller says, definitely playing on PC, not only for the best experience on the best hardware, but I'm sure the modding community will keep the game going long after the DLC runs dry, just like Skyrim, Fallout 4, and Witcher 3. And honestly, that's something I'm absolutely hyped for with Cyberpunk 2077, is to see what the mod community can do exactly. So I'm really hoping that it's impressive. Hazy says, just imagine it's a Saturday morning. You've been working hard all week and Cyberpunk released 2 days ago, but you've been too busy working to play it. You launch the game for the first time, you think back to all the delays that have happened in the past, but it doesn't matter. You're finally about to play the game. And then you wake up and remember the game has been delayed again. You cry. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people have been feeling about the most recent delay. When November 19th hits, I'll be curled up in a fetal position crying. No, I'm just kidding. I'm willing to wait the 21 days. I hope it's 21 days and doesn't end up turning into another 6 months. You know what I mean? That would honestly that would be crippling. That would be really, really suck. All right, there you have it, guys. The latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077 and the PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm so hyped to get my hands on these consoles. I have them both pre-ordered. I'll be giving my opinions about both of those. So yeah, look out for some cool videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.